The kill command. The kill command can be used to terminate running processes and daemons. Used in combination with the ps command, it can eliminate rogue processes that cannot be stopped on a Linux system otherwise. There are 64 different kill signals that can be sent. You may list them all by typing kill with the -L option. The 5 most common kill signals are 1, which stops and restarts a process with the same PID, 2, which is the weakest kill and interrupts a process. When we do Control-C to break a process running from the console, that's kill signal 2. 3 kills and core dumps memory to a file. 9 is the absolute kill. It's the strongest kill, and it forces a stop by sending the process to device null. And then there's 15, which is the default kill. So if you type kill and don't specify an option, that's the kill you get. Typically when killing a process, you will use the ps command and pipe its output to the grep command to find the process ID or PID of the program or daemon you wish to kill. For example, if I type ps aux and pipe it to grep and look for gedit, this would find the PID for all instances of gedit running on the Linux system. Let's say that it's 1099. You would then take the PID you gleaned from the previous command and pass it to the kill command to stop that particular process. For example, kill 1099. After the ps command for listing processes, one of the next important commands would be the kill command for stopping processes. There are, basically 64 different signals that the kill command can send to a process. And if I wanted to, I could list it. So if I just use kill -L, this would list the 64 different processes here. And I'm only going to go over like maybe the 5 most common ones. But if I did, I could just use a dash and pass that number in this case for the one that that I wanted to access the particular kill command bit. First one would be 1, right? Sig hub here. And it stops and restarts the process with the same ID. So if there was a certain daemon or a program that I needed to run under a certain PID and not get a new PID, I could use that signal level. The next one is 2, okay, and sigint. And that's the weakest kill. It just interrupts the process, and that's equivalent to pressing like Control-C. So in other words, if I launch a new terminal over here, and let me zoom in a bit, and I'm just going to flood ping Yahoo in this case. And I'm flood pinging Yahoo here with no, I haven't supplied the number of pings to. So if I do Control-C to stop the process, which is something that we commonly do, that's the same thing as sending kill with the signal level of 2. Go ahead and exit out of that prompt there. Okay, so there's 1 and there's 2. The next, a third most common one would be 3. In this case, sig quit. And if I do that, that signal not only will kill the process, but it causes a core dump. So it'll take that process information that's in memory and it'll write it to a file called core. That's just useful for debugging purposes, trying to figure out what's going on. And there's also a shortcut combination with that, control and the backward slash. The next one, the most common of all probably would be 15, sig term. And this is the default. When I use the kill command and I don't specify a signal with the dash, then I'm really usually just passing in the signal 15, sig term, to terminate the process. Sort of the default kill. And then the strongest kill, I guess, would be 9. Sig kill here, and that's sometimes called the absolute kill. It forces a stop by sending a process and its resources to basically a null device file. So /dev/null. So just some of the more common kill processes, but we're just going to basically do the default, and in this case 15 just by using the kill command. So we did kill L to list. And just to illustrate some of the things we can do with the kill command, as we couple it with the process command, I'm going to launch a process. I'm going to do Alt F2, and I'm going to do gedit. Alright, so I launch one gedit. If I did that, let me look for the process. So ps aux, I could do this, but again, that's a bit overwhelming. I mean, yeah, I could scroll through this and try to look for gedit and find my text editor in that way, but that's a bit overwhelming. So again, why not use the grep command? So ps aux, grep just searches for a string, so I'm going to grep, and I want to figure out what process happens to be employed or being used there. So remember the columns, in this case the user ID, and this is my process ID. So knowing the ID of the process, now I can kill it. And depending on the permission and who you're logged in as, you may or may not have to use sudo. Right now, I'm just going to do kill and 3192, which is the process ID, and watch what happens to the gedit window. Disappears. So I just killed that process. And were I to grep for it again, it's gone. I mean, yeah, there's a process here, but that's just what I'm, me grepping, running the ps command and grepping for gedit. But this process here where it was actually running, it's gone. So that's one way to kill things by process ID. The kill all command. There is also a kill all command. It is like using grep. It will locate and kill all processes running with the name you specify without requiring the PID. For example, if I typed kill all gedit, it would go and find all the processes that were running under the name gedit and kill them regardless of their process ID. That's the basic kill command, but let's say I had multiple processes and I wanted to kill them all at the same time. Then that might be a good candidate to use the kill all command. To do that, I'm going to launch one process that's not as root, gedit, and I'm going to launch another process. You won't see it, but it will open up in the background, not as root, gedit. And I'm going to launch a third process. In this case, I'm going to use gksudo if I wanted to write outside my home folder or gain write privileges. Gedit. Okay, and cache my password for like 15 minutes or so, but I'd have to type in my password if I had not typed it in within 15 minutes. So have all these processes here running grep, and if I do that, let's use the process command. So psaux, and I'm going to grep for gedit. And notice you'll see each instance. Here are the two instances I launched where I was not root, and here's the third one where I launched it as root. And I've got the PID, so I could use the kill command and kill each one of those. The exception being this one because I use gksudo, which means that's running under root privileges, temporary root privileges with the the sudo command. So I'd have to use sudo kill to kill that. Whereas these two here, I could just use kill by itself without having to use sudo. But I could do that, I could do sudo and kill, and I could type in the process ID here 3252. Then I could do it again, 3257, and do it again, 3258. Or I could simply use the kill all command. And that way, if I pass in gedit, watch what happens. When I hit enter, it'll kill all of these processes all at once. Okay? And if I hit the up arrow and grep it to do a search, notice that all of these processes are gone now. Killed them all. So it's just an example of using kill and the kill all command along with the process command and grep to manage and control different processes